Hi everyone. Now we will start another good topic on a spectroscopy. So that today I will let you know about a nephelometry and a turbidimetry. So these both technique are molecular spectroscopy, and here this both nephelometry and turbidimetry can be used for analysis of a chemical substance quantitatively from a unknown solution. And here the term turbidimetry, so the turbid solution is used for a analysis in a turbidimetry, and similarly nephelometry is also that solution should be in a turbid in the sense that have some suspended particles. So in nephelometry the solution phase is a suspended particles. Like in a UV visible spectrophotometry, the solution should be homogeneous, where the transmitted light is measured. But in both technique that a scattered radiation, as we know that in spectroscopy when we pass the monochromatic light to any solution, then there is a different process of phenomena occurs, like reflection, transmission, absorption, and a spectroscope like scattering. So in nephelometry and turbidimetry we will measure the scattered radiation from the sample solution, and we should know the scattering of light from the solution in a different angles. So in UV visible generally we measure the absorbed light, and but the detector measure the transmitted light in a UV visible spectrophotometer. And the light used in nephelometry and turbidimetry is in the range of a UV visible range from a 200 to 800 nanometer wavelength. So before getting into the topic, I will let you know the introduction of this both technique. So when electromagnetic radiation strikes a particle in a solution, some of the light will be absorbed by the particle, some will be transmitted through the solution, and some of the light will be scattered and reflected. So suppose if you want to know the simple principle of a nephelometry or a turbidimetry, so when we will pass the visible wavelength range of a light into the solution, so here we can see some of the light is transmitting, and some are getting reflecting, and some are absorbed. Then scattered. So here as I told that in nephelometry and turbidimetry scattered radiation is measured. Then what is the difference between a nephelometry and a turbidimetry? So in turbidimetry the intensity of light transmitted through the medium and unscattered light is measured. Suppose in a turbidimetry, if you want to see the principle, okay, so here we have the light source, and as I told that light source in the form of a visible light, and here we will put our sample. Okay, we will put our sample, and here when I am passing light to the turbid solution in the sense that solution having a suspended particles, and a size may be from a nanometer to micrometer size. Okay, then some of the light is scattered into 90 degrees or different angles. But here in turbidimetry we should know that here we will measure the transmitted light, okay, transmitted light, because the detector kept 190 degree to the incident light. Suppose if I want to see the principle of a turbidimetry, so this is our sample solution, suspended solution, and if I am passing the light, okay, into the solution, so there are a scattering of light, okay, scattering of light takes place, and we measure the light, okay, the light that transmitted, okay, at 180 degree to the incident light. So this is a principle of a turbidimetry. So in turbidimetry, when you pass the light and that transmitted light is measured, okay, the transmitted light is measured in a turbidimetry. So how we can differentiate nephelometry and turbidimetry? Because in turbidimetry the term T, okay, term T, so here we will measure the transmitted light. T means transmitted light. Then so we have a light source, cuvette, and a detector. Okay, so that is about the turbidimetry. So in nephelometry, the intensity of scattered light is measured usually, but not necessary at right angles to the incident light. So in nephelometry, so generally here also same. So starting there we will pass the incident light, okay, incident light, visible light onto the solution, okay. Then there are a scattering of light. So here we generally in a nephelometry the measurement is done at a right angle to the incident light. So this is a incident light. So if we put the detector here or a detector here 90 degree, as in the fluorescence or a phosphorescence spectroscopy. So the two different techniques differ only in the manner of measuring the scattered radiation. So in both technique we will measure the scattered radiation, but the measurement, the way of measurement is different in a turbidimetry and a nephelometry. So in turbidimetry we are keeping the detector here, okay, detector here, and in a nephelometry we can put our detector here or here or here, okay. So generally it measures the 100% scattered radiation, okay. Turbidimeter can measure the most of routine analysis by spectrophotometer. So because in turbidimetry we are measuring the transmitted light, okay, transmitted light, and as we know that in UV visible also the transmitted light from the solution is measured in a UV visible spectrophotometer. So if we don't have turbidimetry, so turbidimetry is itself an instrument available in the market, and if we don't have this turbidimetry, we can use a UV visible spectrometer for a measurement of a turbid solution, okay. And another point is the extent of light scattering increases as the wavelength increase. So as the wavelength increases, so like we know the wavelength we can understand from Vibgyor, okay, violet, indigo, blue, like that, red, okay. So if we will start from a violet to red color, so there is a increase in the wavelength. Suppose this is our solution, and we are passing a different wavelength of light onto the solution from a violet, indigo, blue, yellow, orange, red, okay. Then what is happening? So when we will start with a violet color, okay, suppose if we will start with the violet color, so the scattered radiation will be less. So when we increase the wavelength of light, then there is a increase in the scattering process, and the intensity of scattered light is normally measured by a nephelometer. So we have both nephelometer and a turbidimeter, and this process, because generally this both technique is used for a turbid solution, suspended part solution, and we know. So suppose here I want to so this is a solution of a barium sulfate. I took barium chloride and I put H2SO4, concentration H2SO4. Then I have a turbid solution of a barium sulfate, and we are generally estimating the barium as a barium sulfate gravimetrically. Okay, gravimetrically. So we can also determine barium. If I want to determine barium from a sample solution, so I will put the concentrated H2SO4. Then barium will precipitate as a barium sulfate, and this is a suspended solution of a barium sulfate, and I can determine barium or a sulfate. Suppose in drinking water sulfate is present, so I will add barium in the present barium. Okay, then it will be again precipitated. Then that time I can also determine sulfate from the sample solution, and this process depends upon the different factors like particle size, wavelength, distance of observation, concentration of particle, and molecular weight of your chemical substance that is present inside the sample. So these are the factors that causes the change in the scattering process. Then this is a scattering of light by particles in colloidal or a suspended particles. So this is a very important point. Okay, you should remember, longer wavelength light is a more transmitted. So if you will pass that longer wavelength light like red, so there is the light will more transmitted than scattering. While the shorter wavelength light, blue color. Okay, so this is blue color is shorter wavelength light. So it will more reflected. Okay, is more reflected via eye scattering. So this is a purple gold solution, and we have a copper sulfate solution, and we have a iron solution. So if you will pass the light, you will see the transmission or a scattering of a light. So this is general, we can say, a question. Okay, why the sky is blue, and during sunset the sun is a reddish in color. Okay, so here we can understand through the scattering process. The blue color of the sky and the red color of the sunset at sunset result from the scattering of a light of a small dust particle, H2O molecules and other gases in the atmosphere. As we know that a light is scattered depends upon the wavelength. The sky is blue because violet and blue light are scattered to the greater extent. So if we will pass the light to the because in the sky that consists of dust particles and water molecules, when the the light from the sun consisting of all the wavelength of light, so when it absorb the blue color is scattered. Okay, so it because violet and blue are scattered to greater extent. Okay, so that is the reason for the blueness of a sky. Okay, so here we will see the difference in the when we will apply turbidimetry and when we will apply the nephelometry. So here we say in nephelometry, this means if the concentration of the solution, okay, if the concentration of the solution is more, uniform scattering, the intensity of scattered light proportional to the concentration measured. So this is in nephelometry, this means down. Okay, down, this is showing the down means low concentration. Okay, this means down. This means low concentration of solution. So we have a two solution. Okay, so here we can see this is a I think little low concentration, and this is a higher concentration. Okay, higher concentration of solution. When the concentration of solution is low, then we will prefer, okay, nephrometry. And when the concentration of solution is high, okay, we will prefer a turbidity. Okay, so the type of the solution is same, but their concentration is different. Then we will prefer either nephrometry, okay, the low concentration. And if the concentration of solution is high, then we will take help of a turbidity. Okay, so concentration is high, scattering not uniform. So suppose the concentration is high, because we will prefer nephrometry when the concentration is low. Means here we can see the solid particles, suspended particles, is more towards the uniform size. Okay, uniform size. So it will okay. So then that time we will get a better scattering. Okay, but when the particle size is, some are maybe small, some are big, are different. Okay, the particle size vary. Then transmitted light measured at scattering not uniform. So then that time the scattering is not uniform, because it depends upon the particle size. Okay, the different particle size having a different scattering characteristics. So okay, then that time we will measure the transmitted light. Then this is a block diagram for a turbidimetry. Okay, turbidimetry. So we have a visible light. Okay, and we have a filter. Generally, so visible light from a violet to red color, and a filter. So the function of filter is it exclude all the wavelength of light except one single wavelength of light. Suppose if you are passing the blue light, so it will pass the blue light, other wavelength of light is blocked, and it passed onto the solution. Then we have a detector, okay, photocell detector, and this is it. So and we are keeping the detector at a 180 degree, okay, to the incident radiation. And this is a that instrumentation or a block diagram of a nephrometer. Okay, nephrometer. And we have a visible source lens. So here we have a lens, and here we have a sample cell, and we have a detector. And here generally we for the nephrometer we can keep the detector at a 90 degree. Okay. Then this is the difference between a nephrometer and turbidimetry. We are keeping a 180 degree for turbidimetry, and a detector we are keeping 90 degree. Here we can keep, or here we can keep. Then choice of the method. Okay, choice of the method. When we will prefer nephrometry, or when we will prefer a turbidimetry. So the choice of the method depends upon the amount of light scattered by suspended particle present in the solution. So as I told, that when we will prefer a turbidimetry, when the concentrated solution. Okay, so this is the example of a concentrated solution. These are a light solution. Okay, suppose if you have a colored solution. So during I think acid-base radical. Okay, acid-base radical. So in acid-base radical, most of the times you have seen the solution is a turbid. Okay, turbid. So that turbid solution can be used. So there you are doing the qualitative analysis. Same solution can be done quantitatively if you are using a nephrometry or turbidimetry. Same in the case of a organic analysis. So we are we are doing the functional group analysis for glucose. Okay, glucose, protein, lipid. So if the solution is turbid, and that turbidity is depend upon the concentration of the solution. Okay, and if you want to determine the quantitative amount of substance from a solution, then you will use. Okay, and in nephelometry we will generally the concentration of the solution is a low. Then here so there is a similarity. Okay, so there are a similarity between a turbidity metry and a colorimetry.